calling the workshop to order at 18:30 hours.
Good job.
So all we're aiming at doing is going over the changes to the cemetery ordinance, so they can be submitted to the planning board in time for them to go through it with the other ordinance changes. And then the next step is, I believe, that they send it to the lawyers who make sure that everything's copacetic.
Sure.
And then once that comes back, then we'll be ready for next year's town meeting. That's as soon as we can get changes enacted. So what I've done is done a draft, and this is very much draft. I'm not wedded to any of this. We can fold, spindle, and mutilate to your heart's content. Anything in underline is new. Anything in cross out is to be removed. And that's basically language pertaining to deeds, because we no longer issue deeds. We do conveyances to folks when they buy the lots. And the basic thing is that I have tried to put it into categories, so it's easier for people that get this to figure out what they need to, what they're looking for, and for me to answer questions as well. And the purpose, and most of the wording hasn't changed, again, unless it's struck out or underlined. The purpose hasn't changed at all. The definitions, I think Linda just said, as we were talking beforehand, that it's 4 cremains that can go in a plot.
Okay.
Is that is still correct? It's
I
4.
believe it is.
Okay, I think that's what Dick told me as well.
Okay.
But I wasn't positive, so I didn't want to put that in yet. And that a plot is approximately a 4 by 10 space. And I think that's fairly close,
Pretty
isn't it?
standard, yeah.
So that it has enough room for the vault. So then, as you can see from the numbers, it's really gone all over the place. General provisions, things that are just kind of generally true to the cemetery. Number 1, number 2, number 19, number 30. They were really smattered through the original ordinance. So are there any thoughts or?
As I read it through, it seems fine to me, and you know, when we get to the parts where you want to delete some of the things that were in prior, it looks good to me also.
Oh, one thing I did add, and it was actually something Dick identified today, and that's on, I didn't number these pages. I'll number it before it goes to them. But on page 2, there's any contiguous plots purchased will be considered as one lot and will include any identified walkways between the plots.
Okay.
And where that came to be, and this is something that I wanted you folks to discuss and see if this made sense to you, but Dick bought another plot in Daly Cemetery, up near where his daughter's buried. And the way the plots up there are laid out, there's 2 plots together, and then a 3-foot walkway, and then 2 plots, and then a 3-foot walkway.
I see.
And he had already bought the 2 plots together, and he bought the next plot on the other side of the 3-foot walkway. And to me, that kind of makes that whole thing Dick's.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it does to me.
Yeah. It wouldn't make sense
So
to.
what would we do? Would we keep the walkway in between, or remove the walkway?
Yeah, there really wouldn't be any point in keeping the walkway, because they may as well be together.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me in the least.
Yeah, but
Might
how
as well.
would you get to the back lots?
There's so darn many walkways in that.
No,
Yeah.
I just wanted,
Yeah.
because we're gonna be sure that we keep.
Yeah, that we can get to the back. Yeah, if they bought too many of them, I think that might be an issue, but they'd have to buy an awful lot of them.
Yeah.
Because literally there's 2 plots, so basically 8 feet, and then a 3-foot walkway, and then another 8 feet of plots, and an 3-foot walkway.
Right.
So there's a lot of space taken up out there with walkways.
Yeah.
So I think even if people bought 6 or 8 plots together, you've still got quite a lot of
Yeah.
walkway space around them to be able to get through. So that was the one thing that at Dick's request I added in there. And it did, to to me at any rate, it made sense. Why waste that space if they bought
Yeah,
all
well,
that
that's
space?
his family plot.
Right,
You shouldn't
yeah.
have a walkway between,
No, he doesn't need a walkway up the
No,
middle.
it doesn't. Oh, I know what I was gonna say, I
Mhm.
didn't see it, but is it, did you add,
Mhm.
or did you find it and maybe I just missed it? Facing the stones the same way.
Oh, that's right. I didn't, but I'm not quite sure what is meant by that. Tacey tried to explain it to me too.
North and south, east and west, whichever they go.
So they all go the same way on the,
Yes, you know the one
in
in
the
the
row.
village I'm speaking of.
no, I don't, and that's, is it in the back? Because the back is kind of a jumbled mess back
Well,
there.
the back,
Mm-hmm,
if you were going in
mm-hmm.
by
to
my
yours,
son's.
on the right-hand side, up back, did you see the one that's, the stone's facing this way?
No, I didn't. Was that
Oh,
a
no.
relatively new grave that's in front of my son's?
Oh, yeah, down this one further,
Yeah.
down to the front.
Is that the one that's got all the greenery and all the one with the dogs that are buried there? And
No, I don't think,
No.
no.
I'll have to take a look when I go
It's-
down.
Okay.
it's-
Yeah.
It should be facing the way your son's is facing.
Yeah, they're, all
Okay.
the
But
it's
headstones
not.
face the same way in the cemetery,
Yeah,
I
and I'm
thought.
trying to think
Mhm.
of, east and west, I think it is, I'm not
Mhm.
sure.
It would be. Yeah,
Because you'd have to
the way
ask,
they are.
yeah.
Down there, it's east
Yeah,
and
you'd have
west.
to that's another thing that Dick,
So if I put something along the line of, all monuments must be placed such that
You face the same
They
direction.
yeah,
face the same.
direction.
Yeah.
same direction as those around it?
No, just plain is, no.
Or is that
Just
enough, just
plain.
face the same
Same
direction?
direction.
Now, here's a
Well,
thought.
but I know up at Raymond Hill, you come in, the new section's over, here's the church,
Mhm.
and then the stone wall, and you come in, and there's Road 1. And all the stones here face this way,
Mhm.
and then all the stones here face this way.
In a different direction?
Well, so when you go down Road 1, you see everything, you can read both of these. And then you come up here and there's Road 2, and the ones on this side face this way toward Road 2. And on the other side, do you see what I
And
mean?
this is up on Raymond Hill?
This is on
Yes.
Raymond
I wonder
Hill.
if that's because it was such an old cemetery that we didn't have any type of rules back then.
Well, this is the addition.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
And I
new
know
Yeah,
what-
this
I
is
know
the
what you're
addition.
saying.
Yeah, so that
Some
when
of
you go
them-
down
so
Road
if you go down
1,
the road, you see both sides.
you see both
Oh, I
sides.
see.
And then you go down this side and there's like a double row of graves here.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm thinking we might want same direction
Yeah,
as those, as the surrounding stones.
I
or
would think
something to
my
that
only
effect.
concern about this,
Yeah.
and this will probably never happen, but if we have a Muslim that dies, they have to face east
Yes.
when they bury them.
Mm-hmm.
And so would we be opening ourselves up to either litigation or having to redo this at some point?
It could be.
no, because if most cemeteries are east
Well, I'm just saying
and
that,
west,
you know,
I'm just,
Mhm.
we shouldn't have a problem.
yeah.
So because I'm new to cemeteries, are cemeteries normally laid out with everything facing east or west? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, the way Dick had it laid out and the previous people on the cemetery
Well, it all
committee, I
depends
don't
on
know.
which, like, well, if one of them goes north and south,
Mm-hmm.
the stones can't go north and south, they're supposed to go east and west.
Yeah, and down at the village, they are east and west.
Yes,
Okay. So then we might be covered if that's the case.
We would be, I would think, yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, I
Yeah,
don't
'cause I never
anticipate that ever happening. but
Noticed that.
Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
and of course, a lot of people now are being cremated.
Yeah. Of course, they still want the marker. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get ready to buy the headstones for the rest of my family and get
Mhm.
those down there in the next 6 months probably.
You even have big ones
No, small ones next to the big one,
next
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I saw several up at Raymond Hill. I don't think you know this, or unless you watched the last meeting or looked at the minutes, but I have ordered and have cemetery software now. So I'll be
Okay.
creating a database of all the cemetery
Good idea.
data. I'm still working with the vendor to get the kinks ironed out, but Tacey and I started last week. We went out to Raymond Hill, and that's how I know this is how it's laid out, because we measured each plot and lot, and I recorded not only who owns it, but who is buried there currently. And we found one stone that's in the wrong place. Thankfully, no
really?
one's buried under it.
Wow,
But, and Dick said he was aware of it. He's going to have them move it.
oh, okay,
And he's already asked them to move it.
yeah,
But it's that kind of thing I want to find. Is
Mhm.
that, earlier this year, from the maps I have, I went to sell a lot, or a plot rather, but I've learned to always ask Dick to go out and check it, make sure that no one's already in residence,
yeah,
and to put stakes around it so the owners will know where it is.
Sure.
And be able to tell the monument companies where to go.
Mhm.
And he came back and he said someone's buried there.
Wow,
And I have no record of it. I can't find any record so far. It was a infant that was buried up in Raymond Hill in 2006, I think it was.
wow. People in
And
town should know who that is, you know, it's
Yeah.
not that long ago.
no, it isn't. But I'm also still finding records. There are a lot of boxes of cemetery records down cellar in the ballroom that I haven't been able to get into yet.
Wow,
And what I want to do is bring those up once I get this software in and be able to enter the data into the
Yeah.
database. And that way,
sure.
a lot of questions should evaporate, I hope.
Yeah.
Very interesting
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, so
When I
it's going to
used
be a neat
When I
project.
used to dispatch, because I was on the cemetery committee then,
Mhm.
and they used to let me bring the stuff up and, you know, 8 hours, 10, 12 hours, I'd look through the stuff.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, eventually there are a couple of other changes that I think we might want to consider to the ordinance, but I'm not sure we have time to really get through them
Mhm.
for this go-round. One is something I know I mentioned it to Linda, and that's possibly charging a burial fee for cremains, like a $5 fee, more to get people to come in and tell us they've done it.
Yeah,
Because right now, there are a lot of people buried in the cemetery, and I have no record of it.
wow.
Because anyone can go up with a shovel and bury
Sure, I was gonna
cremains.
put my mother's remains in there,
Yeah,
because I talked to Dick, he said, go do it.
oh, yeah, and it's completely
Yeah.
legal and well within the
Yeah,
ordinance.
I've just been waiting to get the headstones put in.
Right.
You know.
But if we had some way of
Mhm.
getting people, even if it's just a little nominal fee to
Sure.
come in and do a permit,
Mhm.
then,
Of course,
Mhm.
you know, we can have the fee,
Mhm.
that doesn't necessarily mean people are gonna pay it and
That's
do
true.
it, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Unless we
and
have
maybe
some
we-
teeth in the ordinance that says if you bury without a fee, you know, without
Mhm.
us knowing,
Yeah,
then there's a fine.
without the permit, yeah.
Right,
And maybe we'd want to go that way,
I would
is it's
think.
free,
yeah,
but then add teeth to it and have
Yeah.
get the fee and the fine.
sure,
Hmm.
it seems reasonable.
Yeah, but it seems like,
It's the
and,
only way we're gonna know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And the other thing that comes to me, but I don't know if this is good, bad, or indifferent, because again, I'm very new to this and I'm learning about cemeteries. But when Tacey and I went up and did the measurements up here, the lots where people had put corner markers in
Mhm.
were so easy to figure out
Oh, yeah,
and see. But the ones that weren't
yeah,
were a real nuisance, quite literally.
Sure, sure.
So, I don't know how expensive those are. I don't know if
They're
that
not
would be too much
expensive.
of a burden to tell people or
I can't
require them
remember when
possibly.
I bought my plots,
Mhm.
but we have the markers, you know.
In the four
G,
corners,
Yeah,
yeah.
the four corners,
Mhm.
and
See, mine's all
I'm
fenced
sure
in
it
with
wasn't
granite,
expensive.
Yeah, mhm,
So,
yeah. So that may be something down the road we want to require when people buy
I
a
would think
lot.
so,
They put the corner markers
Mhm.
in.
yeah. Well, to me, it makes everything linear, and I'm a linear guy,
Oh,
so
yeah.
as long as everything lines up, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's what I like, that's why I'm excited about the database.
Yeah, yeah,
I want everything in a nice neat row,
yeah.
but I don't think we have time to really
Okay,
chat through that and
we can do it prior to the
What?
town meeting next year. you know.
Mhm.
Sure.
so that was really all I had to go over, because it's a seven-member committee and we don't have a quorum to
Quorum, yeah.
be able to approve minutes that we've had at previous
Mhm.
meetings or anything, or even elect a chair, so,
Yeah.
but possibly in September. So would you, and at this point, because this has been rather quick,
Mhm.
would you both rather take some time and look at this and maybe get back to me by next week?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Would that-
Let
would
me
that-
take this home and read it.
Yeah, because this has been quick. I don't want to force anything down
Yeah.
or run it
Like
over
you said,
too
it's only
fast.
the ones that are crossed out and the ones that are underlined.
And
So
under
it's not like there's a lot of changes.
Yeah.
15,
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I've
We're
really
not
got to
gonna
put
know-
page
we're not
numbers on
gonna
this.
know if they
Okay,
ever-
so number,
we're not gonna
Mhm.
know if they have them in their glove box or
Which one?
15.
oh, bringing fire,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
I just want the honor guard when I'm buried, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Are you a veteran?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
for your service.
You're welcome.
One of my aims with doing the database is to collect as much information on the veterans as I
Mhm.
can.
Yeah. There's a lot of veterans buried in Raymond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to
Mhm.
the Winets?
No. Mm-mm.
I asked them to stop in because
Mhm.
they've got all the records.
Oh.
They're
Mhm.
the ones that put the American flag out,
Oh, how cool.
the two of them,
Mhm.
and all about cemeteries.
Yeah, yeah, and I want to get it flagged, and this database has a place to flag the ones that have the various flags, whether it be veterans or firefighter or whatever, to make sure we aren't missing any.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that number 15 on page 3 would come into play more if someone were caught with them. We have something to go back on to.
Yeah, because it's already illegal to hunt in a cemetery statewide.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
you know, I can't imagine why somebody would bring a gun to a cemetery, but you never know.
Well, if it's in the glove compartment, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I have a permit to carry,
There's
but
Dick.
I don't carry it everywhere. Hi, Dick.
That's for you.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
Oh,
Hey, how are you?
Good, good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
and I'm glad you mentioned number 15 because I knew it was in here somewhere, and again, I couldn't find
Right.
it. But just below that, it says, on or after the effective date of this ordinance, no lot or grave shall be defined by a fence, rail, curb, hedge, trees, shrubs, for the purpose of defining its boundaries. But that wouldn't preclude the markers at the
No.
corners.
Right,
No.
because I know there's one grave down at the village that's got cobblestones as a boundary all the way around.
Uh-huh.
They're raised up.
Oh, yeah, and you can't mow over that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Mhm.
tough.
Yeah. So that's really what this is getting at, is
Yeah.
the mowing aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dick, I think you and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but anything crossed out is what I'm proposing we take out, and anything underlined is to be added on this. And what we just talked about is, you're all gonna take it home and look at it, and let me know by next week if it's okay, or you find any other changes or whatever. We did add to it that all monuments must be placed such that they face the same direction as the surrounding stones. And if any of you can come up with a better way to put that, then,
That makes sense.
because Linda said there's one in the village, I think
Mhm.
you said, that's backwards. That's facing the wrong way compared to the rest
Should
of
be
them.
facing the other
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Is it east and west
Where, down
that
there?
the stones should be faced?
That's what it says online.
Mhm.
Um,
It says it
That-
online?
It says most
That's,
people stick to that.
Yeah.
that stone is facing, east and west. If it was, it isn't facing, most of them are the other way. They're
North and south.
facing,
It's supposed to be facing east and
What?
west. That would be facing like,
Well,
see,
north
if it was
and
east,
south.
it'd be facing that way.
Yeah,
If it was west, this way. But, you know, I'm sure they're not exactly east and exactly west or
no,
whatever, you
no,
know.
no,
But
yeah.
I think it's, you know, as long as we have them all with the
I
writing of
just
the
think it'd look
headstones
better.
on the
Mhm.
same
To have them all
side.
going the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if
But
anybody
most,
finds
most of them
anything-
down there are facing, north and south.
They,
well, yeah, like I said, nothing is exact. So,
No.
No,
so,
but I mean, primarily they are facing this way, which would be,
yeah,
I mean, that's north.
yeah,
that's
Boston's
south.
that way.
Your son's monument there.
Yeah, that'd be facing more north, I would think. That-
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But like I said, as long as they're all facing the same direction,
but the
then
other,
the writing
that
is all on
one,
the
there's
same
one up
side.
there that's right going this way.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you first go through that last gate,
Is that a relatively new one?
it's
Mhm.
back, well, it's been there for 4 or 5 years now.
Has it?
has it been there that long? Oh my goodness.
Time flies,
Yeah, I
Sure
know.
does.
time and tide waits for no man.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Now, you're at the town hall every day?
Yes.
Because I'm retired, so I'll just drive up rather
Okay.
than call you.
Yep, that'll work. That would be perfect. Yeah, because I took Louise's spot. I'm the new town clerk.
Okay, I
I've been
figured,
there for about a year.
yeah.
And I've been town clerk before. I just didn't have to deal with cemeteries before.
Yeah. Yeah, what town did you come from?
I was with the town of West Bath
Oh, okay.
for 4.5 years, and then I worked for the Secretary of State's office for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'd had enough of the state, and
Yeah,
Louise was kind enough to retire.
yeah. Worked out okay, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very well. Yeah, I love working here.
Yeah,
It's been
that's a
great.
good
I
town.
was very thankful to Selectmen
Yeah.
let me come and play.
Well,
So
I'm
I
good if you're
think-
good.
I think that's all I
Okay.
had anyway.
We have some homework. Take it home and read it. and-
Now,
Yeah,
Nathan, is Nathan
Yeah.
the one that empties the,
because I wouldn't need
The
back
trash
glasses
and
now.
things? Yes, I
Yeah,
believe so.
that's why I
Mhm.
brought a pair,
Is
but,
there
Oh,
one
you
that's
did?
full?
yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure the
But
West
there's not
last
that many
week.
changes
Oh,
in
yeah.
here.
And I
There-
kinda
There's not very many
mentioned
changes
it.
in here,
Yeah.
so it's not like we have to go
Yeah,
through.
but
I
I-
said, I think I can still talk to you about secretaries.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I can get you guys all Steelers stickers if you'd like, you know, I'm just
I have a
saying.
Steelers throw. I've spent time in Pittsburgh.
Oh, do you?
I like the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on a customer advisory panel with a vendor out there at a
Oh.
previous job I was at.
Oh, okay.
And have you spent time in Pittsburgh?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're from Pittsburgh? Oh, my goodness.
I moved up here 33 years ago,
Yeah.
but I
because-
still fly home every year for a Steeler game.
Yeah.
I was just down there about a month ago to see the Pirates play.
Oh, cool. I saw the Pirates the last time they played in Three Rivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I happened to be at that game. I was out again with this company.
The new
and they
stadium
took
is
us there.
beautiful.
Oh, cool.
It was just named the best baseball stadium in the nation,
Mm-hmm.
and it is absolutely beautiful. The city is lit up at night right
Oh, yeah.
in the
And
outfield.
it's so
beautiful.
it's so pretty there.
Yeah.
Going up Mount Washington and seeing
Oh,
it from
yeah.
up there is pretty.
And what was your previous job?
I worked for LL Bean and managed their customer name
Oh,
and
okay.
address file.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I
thought
was.
maybe it was Heinz. That's why I
Oh,
asked.
no, we dealt with a company called ISI, their Innovative Systems Incorporated.
Oh, okay.
And I was on the customer advisory
Yeah,
panel,
so you've taken the incline and all that?
I've taken the
Yeah, Duquesne
incline. I almost got propositioned on the incline. I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
My coworkers were gonna sacrifice
Welcome to
me.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, on number 18, that would take care of our trees too.
Let's see, which page?
Remember you asked Nathan to see if he could take,
Number 18?
It's on page 4.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's number 18.
And I
That's
need,
on
I will promise I'll
Here.
number the pages.
What?
Here.
Oh, I don't need to read it. I'll read it. I'll get home, I'll read it.
Well, and we've got, where is it?
It just says all reasonable precautions will be taken to protect lot owners and
Yes.
the property right of lot owners within the cemeteries from loss or damage.
Yeah, but it also talks about how, on number 24, just below it,
Yeah,
yeah, that the
yeah, we
cemeteries,
can do that,
yeah, that we can take out, basically, anything
Right.
that is not nice.
right.
And there are a lot of bushes, and again, I've
Well,
spent more
look at
time
them.
now in Raymond Hill than anywhere else, but there's so many bushes there that are nice-looking bushes,
Yeah.
but they're really overgrowing
I'm
the
gonna try to get up
gravestones.
the other part of that big bush down
Yeah,
that goes up around the corner, because we found that one stone that was
yeah.
way over there.
So what would be the thing to do? Would we, would it be right to send something to all, or I guess if we have a town meeting, we can, you know, broach that subject then, but at least people would be aware of if the shrubbery gets out of control, that somebody's gonna take care of that.
Well, and everyone that buys a plot
Is
is
supposed
given
to
a
get one
copy
of
of
these.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another reason I wanna get this kind of chunked up, is that way they can see, okay, prohibitions,
Yeah,
here's what I can't do.
You've got a lot of overgrown stuff that needs to be
yeah,
cut down.
I know,
I know,
some of it's huge.
Casey and I were trying,
Yeah.
Because they intrude on other people's
Sure.
Yeah.
lots,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
and that's not right.
No, well,
No.
you
No,
know, if a
they're-
tree from your neighbor's hanging in your yard, you can cut the limbs that are in your yard,
Yeah.
so it's, to me, it's the same
It's the
thing.
whole tree that's gonna go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all nice-looking bushes, but,
yeah, but they just get too big,
yeah, they just get too big.
yeah.
And slow growing, they're still growing.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
if they're there for 50 years,
Well, when I
then,
put the other headstones in our plot, I'm gonna take the shrubs out, because they've gotten so big that there's no room for the headstones,
yeah,
you know, so they're gonna go.
yeah.
See, what really happens is, say a fellow's wife dies, you know, and he'll come back, he'll plant some bushes, you know, some shrubbery on each side of the, and he'll come back, we'll see him at the graveyard all the time for 2 or 3 years,
Right,
you know, and then all of a sudden you don't see him too much anymore.
yeah,
And then first thing you know, them things are getting big and
Yeah.
overgrown, and
yeah,
they don't show up at all.
right. As long as they're aware that we're gonna take care of it if it gets out of bounds.
Yeah. We just done over a lot for some people down to right down here at Riverside. We dug it all out. Which their lot is 8 by 13, I think, 8 to 13 feet. And we dug it right down a foot,
Mhm.
the whole thing. Took it out because grass isn't growing down there at all, you know, and
Yeah,
it looks terrible.
yeah. I'd like to till up my whole plot and put some topsoil in there, because it's starting to cave. And then, you know, put some
We done
seed
the whole,
down.
we done the whole thing over down there, and we brought in about 5 to 6 inches of clay,
Yeah,
you know, put in, because that's all sand down there.
Sure.
It is down there, and because the water goes right down through,
absolutely,
you know.
and everything's settled.
And come summertime, the grass all turns brown.
Yeah,
So we put in that, and then we put in, filled it up, finished filling it up with loam,
yeah.
and seeded it. and
Where'd you
hay-
get the clay
hayed
at?
it. What?
Did you have clay? Did you have clay available, or did you have to go buy it?
Oh, I had to buy it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, bought a load of loam too.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
something to know, because when I do mine, I'll probably want to put some
Yeah.
clay down.
Clay and so that prevents the, you know, when it rains, for that water to go
Sure.
right down through, see? So,
I have a cobblestone sidewalk. Every spring I have to put new
Where are you,
sand in
over on
it,
the right-hand side?
What?
because it
Are
washes
you way over
away.
on the right-hand side?
down there on the right-hand side,
Yeah, is that where you are?
No, down to Riverside.
Yeah.
You go in and you swing to the right
Yeah,
and you go all the way down.
yeah,
And you swing left, it's right there on the corner. Kane. The Kane
Yeah.
lot? Yeah.
yep,
And she called us up and wanted us to do it. So we done it, and
Yeah.
now we're gonna keep it watered.
right,
If we don't, we get a 400-gallon tank.
Mhm.
Your Nathan's
And in the
fixed that road
evening, we'll
yet.
get down, and if we don't get no rain, we'll keep that
they
watered till
put
that
some
seeds
stuff in
and
it.
comes
Did
up
they?
good.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get rain for the next 4 days now, so
Yeah,
that should
you know,
help you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That, we just finished it yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Perfect timing.
that rain will be, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
That must have been hot work.
oh boy,
Yeah,
brutally hot.
yeah, because it's mostly machine, but,
Yeah.
You still got all that garbage
'Cause,
down back too.
we gotta,
It really should be taken out.
Down
Yeah.
back of where?
we got 2
Riverside.
excavators.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
put down
Mm-hmm.
in back. The old couch and stuff is still there, right?
What?
You didn't take the
Oh,
old
yeah,
couch and stuff
no.
out, did you?
No, no.
See, that's down in there.
What am I
Oh,
gonna
we
do
didn't
with
know,
it?
didn't know there
I
was
don't
one.
know, but we ought to remove all that
Yeah.
you take it to
from
the
in there,
dump.
you know?
Yeah,
Down in back there.
as long as
Yeah.
the town will pay for
Yeah.
the cost of, whatever they charge for the dump, it probably wouldn't cost more than $20.
I'll let Nathan know it's down there,
Oh, he
Yeah.
knows it's there.
but I'm a nuisance.
Oh, okay, I used to be
What?
a nuisance,
Oh,
picking on Nathan.
One thing that I've come to realize or found out in doing some poking around as far as budgets and getting things done with the cemeteries is that for the past few years, a budget hasn't been submitted.
So
So,
cemetery committee?
yeah, so all
We had
they've,
meetings.
so all they've done is just continued on $4,000 each year
Mhm.
for expenses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
because we haven't been
this-
spending any.
Right, so this year, that's going to be eaten up in doing the bush hogging and
Oh.
whatnot up here at Raymond Hill.
so,
So for next year, and before next year's budget season, which will be sometime this fall, is
Yeah.
when I'd like to get this done. And I think Linda and Tacey have started on it a bit. We
Mhm.
really need to document the stones that are broken and need to be fixed,
Mhm.
so that I can get the pictures and things over to Colette's and
Yep.
get them to give us some estimates,
okay,
so that we can start figuring out how much we need to budget
Yep.
to get that sort of thing done.
They did a very good job the last time.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there were,
Yeah.
when I got here, there were 2 finials in the basement from the village.
yeah.
And we went out and figured out where they were supposed to go, and Colette's reattached them. And one of the monuments that one of the finials went on, the whole monument, it was a huge, one of the
Mhm.
huge tall monoliths.
Mhm.
The whole thing had slid over, so it was no longer on center,
wow.
and they fixed it. They
Yeah.
got it all back together. And they
Well,
went,
next week, on a day that it doesn't rain,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go down with my iPad and I'll walk this village, because that's where my son's buried.
Mhm.
And I'll take pictures of anything that's broken or
Yeah.
looks like it needs
that
more.
would be great.
And then I can forward it to you or something.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay,
Yeah, because that way, if we,
Don't
if we,
forget to
if
write
we don't
down-
have them documented, I
Write down
really
who it
can't
is.
yeah.
get a good cost
Yeah.
on how much we're talking.
Right,
Yeah.
I had estimates from a number of years ago, but
Yeah.
their prices, I'm sure, have changed somewhat.
do you know that they held those?
Mhm.
Because we could only do so many
Yeah,
every year,
mhm.
and they held the price.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they've been
They
very
held the
good to
price
deal
for
with.
us.
Who,
Colette's,
Colette,
Yeah.
they're the
Yeah.
best in the.
yeah,
Yeah,
they've been very, very
around
good to deal with.
Everywhere, even, because we do the town of Wyndham too, and
Mhm.
they always recommend Colette.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I used.
Mhm.
That's where I got my
Yeah,
marker.
yeah,
Great
yeah.
people.
That's where I'm
They're
gonna
the
get
be,
mine.
they do the best and give you the best price.
Yeah, real nice
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
Of any,
Mhm.
I've noticed on a lot of them that will come in and set them, and they'll be just a little crooked.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
They don't get them straight.
Yeah.
And Colette is straight, and they do a good job.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just like anything, you start
And
out a
they're
little
so
bit
nice.
crooked, when you get to the end, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's like tiling.
Yeah,
Oh, and they're so nice to talk to. you
Yeah.
know.
They're nice.
Dave Dixon, he always uses Colette,
Yeah.
recommends Colette.
Yeah.
And
No, they're great. Okay then,
Well, if we're done, I think I'll head home to dinner,
yeah, that's probably a good plan.
because home's a little ways away.
Workshop is over.